What's going on, guys? Kid Blue here, representing Giants Nation, and you're watching the Fan and Fan Network. What is going on, guys? What is going on, 27 Squad? Welcome back into another video. Before we start this video, we have some announcements to go over on the channel. Make sure you guys stick around for those announcements if you guys want to know what's going on this channel and what I'm going to be doing in the future. First off, if you saw the intro at the beginning of the video and you guys are confused, make sure you guys check out the FTFN link in the description below to twitch.tv. It's our new network we have with a bunch of different sports content creators, and we're all just going to be in one network and trying to give you guys the best content that the mainstream media cannot give you for the fans. It's the voice that sports fans deserve. So that's our slogan, and we're true to that. Make sure you guys follow FTFN on twitch.tv. Also, another announcement, my merch is live. My merch is here. Make sure you guys follow. Make sure you guys go into teespring.com, and my link is in the description. If you guys want your own mug, your own phone case, your own t-shirt, your own sweatshirt, anything, tank top, we have that with the Kid Blue logo on there. More designs coming soon. And last but not least, the positional previews will be resumed sometime in the next coming days. I have 2 videos already ready to go. Just got to know when to drop them because I got some other things I want to throw up too. So the positional previews are still here, guys. Don't worry about it. We're going to resume with tight ends and then edge rushers, and then we're going to offensive line. So let's get right into the video. And I really wanted to talk about, and I'm sorry if the intro was too long, but I really want to talk about now Daniel Jones. And first, before we mention Daniel Jones, I gotta mention Patrick Mahomes, as he just got a huge contract worth up to $503 million. Now, this is over the span of 10 years, so obviously the number per year, $40 million per year, is very realistic to what our imagination was and what Patrick Mahomes would be getting paid. Now, there were some media guys out there talking about Patrick Mahomes getting paid $50 million a year. I thought that was way far-fetched because we don't really see that much of an increase of the wage gap, if you guys want to say that, from other quarterbacks. It goes up very gradually, but never has it gone up about 15 million, as I don't know who the highest paid is right now. It's between like Aaron Rodgers or Matt Stafford or Jimmy Garoppolo or one of those guys are like the highest paid in the league right now. I think it's at like $36 million or something like that, around that area. So I didn't think that Patrick Mahomes was going to get $50 million, even though towards the end of his contract he's due to make $50 million. But that being said, I think it was all realistic. I think everybody knew he would get around the same amount per year, but it's what really boggles my mind is the 10 years, right? The 10 years, and you keep adding that 40 million plus incentives, and it adds all the way up to $500 million. That's just an insane amount. And in my opinion, it's worth it. Patrick Mahomes is changing. He changed the game, man. He is unanimously the best quarterback in the NFL. And it brings up the question for Giants fans: how does this contract affect Daniel Jones and the Giants as far as their contract disputes when the time comes? Now, there are a lot of other factors to really know about this, including other quarterbacks, but one thing I will say is that Patrick Mahomes was constantly in the playoffs. Patrick Mahomes won a Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes he's just in his own league. He's not like any quarterback, and no quarterback is like him. Patrick Mahomes is his own quarterback. And so when you compare Daniel Jones, he definitely doesn't compare up to Patrick Mahomes. So I don't think he'll ever reach that $40 million. Unless obviously the NFL inflates their values and ups the salary cap and things like that. And there's a lot of different factors we can get into. But what are the realities of Daniel Jones being paid $40 million a year? Now, I'll say the realities are very slim. Now, it can happen, but I'll say it's very slim due to these factors. First off, Daniel Jones will probably have to win a Super Bowl within this time. If not, at least make a couple of playoff runs. And as far as he's starting off in the league, with his fumbling issues, going 4-12 in his rookie year, you probably want to make the playoffs a couple times or win a Super Bowl. Second off, you really have to play on, go by what other quarterbacks are being paid. We have a couple of quarterbacks due to make some money before Daniel Jones. We can talk about Dak Prescott, who's still on his franchise tag that I believe he's going to play through, and he's going to be demanding some big money. We're probably looking at around $40 million. I don't think he's going to get anywhere close over that, because Patrick Mahomes got $40 million a year if you add up the averages. $40 million a year, and Dak Prescott wants 45. I mean, for what? So Dak Prescott's probably going to get around 40 million as well, but not in 10 years, probably a 5-6 year deal. A couple of other quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson, he's going to get a huge deal by Baltimore, and that really sums up the big contract. And Deshaun Watson as well. Deshaun Watson is due to make a lot of money as well, as one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but there are some quarterbacks that can help the Giants' case for not signing Daniel Jones with too much money, more so in Daniel Jones' range. You look at guys like Baker Mayfield, you look at guys like Sam Darnold, and you look at guys like Josh Allen, also including Kyler Murray, who's also in his draft class. So these guys are going to make around $30 million when it's all said and done. Josh Allen probably is going to make about $30 million because of the whole inflation with the NFL. They're raising up their salary cap, and as we're adding more regular season games, we're making the NFL is making more money. So you're going to see guys get a little bit inflated. Contracts are going to be a lot bigger than they seem. But that's just because the NFL is able to pay that amount of money more. So you look at Baker Mayfield, you look at Josh Allen, you look at Sam Darnold. Baker Mayfield, if he stays with the Browns, who knows what happens? Very hard to tell, but these guys are all going to make $30 million. Josh Allen, Sam Darnold, and Baker Mayfield, they're going to make $30 million a year, and honestly, I wouldn't mind paying Daniel Jones right around that range. The problem is, if these guys, I don't really care about Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. If these guys get overpaid, that's out of the question. I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think that really relates to the Giants and Daniel Jones' contract disputes, because we all know, I think we can all agree that Daniel Jones isn't on that level, and in my opinion, I don't think he's capable of getting on that level, which is okay. It's not a bad thing, but I don't think he's on their level, and I don't think any contract will even get near what they're making. So they're in their own world, they're in their own tier. I'm not worried about that. What I'm worried about is Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, and I mean, if you want to throw in Dwayne Haskins or Drew Lock in there as well. But I'm worried about those guys, because if those guys get paid big money, because they're right around the tier that Daniel Jones is on, if these guys get paid upwards amount of $35 million and over, then we have an issue, because then Daniel Jones, in my honest opinion, I think he'll be one of the better guys of those few, and he would want to be paid the most out of those guys, as a lot of markets of all positions go. And so you don't really have to be the best quarterback in that tier, but you gotta be worth it, and you gotta have that value. So if these guys get paid over $35 million a year, Daniel Jones is for sure going to want to get paid that as well. So that's the issue. Now the question is, should Daniel Jones get paid $40 million? And in my opinion, this is going to be, I got a lot of hate for this on a live stream I did with the Hub on the Young Guns podcast every Tuesday night at 9:45 p.m. I'm not paying Daniel Jones $40 million. And I have my doubts that Daniel Jones will probably not make the Super Bowl within his rookie contract, so there's that. Maybe that's me being a Debbie Downer. Maybe that's actually me being a realist. I don't think that the Giants are going to make it back to the Super Bowl with Daniel Jones on the rookie contract, so that leads to playoff runs, that leads to statistics, that leads to what he does for the team when you watch on film. Is he going to be worth $40 million? I'd say absolutely the hell not. And if he wants to get paid $40 million and he does not budge, then so long. I mean, quarterbacks are getting more and more talented as the years go on. There's a bunch of talent in the college levels. Quarterbacks are starting to be developed a lot better in the collegiate level. And, it's much easier to find a franchise quarterback than, say, 10 years ago. And I know a lot of people are saying, yeah, but the cap is rising. The NFL cap is rising. You think about this. Within the last couple of years, the quarterback value doubled in the past 10 years. The highest paid quarterback, I remember when Eli Manning got his new contract, I believe in 2015 or something like that, he was getting paid $24 million, and everybody was like, oh my God, this is such a huge contract, holy crap. Now we've got guys getting paid $36 million. The cap is not keeping up, because for that ratio to stand by, you have to be looking at the NFL cap doubling from about $200 million to then $400 million. That's not going to happen, okay? You see the quarterback value is rising up at such an exponential rate. I don't think Daniel Jones will be worth that. You look at a couple of years from now, 4 years from now, when it's time to sign Daniel Jones, or maybe they decide to get him signed before that, even so, within that time span, I don't think the NFL would have a yearly cap for each team over $400 million, because that ratio for how the quarterback is trending so much, it's more than doubled. The value for a quarterback is more than doubled now compared to a couple of years ago. Like I said, you've seen guys getting paid $20 million, $25 million, the max, and people were losing their mind. Now it's normal for a quarterback to get paid $35 million to $40 million. So it's absolutely insane. And so I don't want to spend money on Daniel Jones and then not have to spend money on other positions elsewhere because we're struggling to find the money. Daniel Jones, in my opinion, is going to be a great quarterback. I think he could be top 10 in the NFL. Do you want to pay him that kind of money for a top 10 quarterback in the NFL? No, I probably want to pay a top 5 quarterback that kind of money in the NFL. Daniel Jones, I would be happy to pay him $30 to $35 million, but I can't go over that, and there would have to be some type of negotiation to happen for me to go over 35. But in my opinion, $35 million and over is just not cutting it for Daniel Jones. I want to know your thoughts in the comment section below. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Woo!